36 last 500 meters.
So we go back up to the start now for the first AB semi-final of the lightweight men's double sculls. In one, Meyer and Trojan of the USA. So this is their debut at senior level in this boat class. They'll certainly be keen to make their mark. Then we've got Artem Mikolajewski of Poland with Miloš Jankowski. They set the fastest time out of the heats and repêchages. They did 6:24 in repêchage 4. They were looking at the Swiss Simon Schurk and Mario Gear. Certainly expecting big things from them. They're bronze medalists at European champs. Looking to lane for Andrea Micheletti and Pietro Ruta of Italy. They're the silver medalists at Lucerne. 4th at Euro Championships. Greeks there, Panagiotis Magdanis and Spridon Gianaros of Greece in 5, and Kavalov and Kmara of the Ukraine in lane 6. Good start there across the board. If anything, just dropping off the back slightly. Poland, so not the fastest start from them, but we'll be expecting big things from them as they got gold in this lightweight men's double sculls event at Eton Dorney.
Yeah, they came through. The Chambers brothers blew up at the finish, and the Chambers brothers led out, and then they just went bam. But the Poles came through, and looking at their heat, they had one of the slowest first quarters. They only went through 4th in 500 metres, lost to the Muda brothers of the Netherlands. So expect the Poles to come through. I think, again, we've seen that with a number of crews today.
So the fastest qualifying time in Heat 3 was from this Swiss combination. So certainly you were mentioning earlier the strength of the Swiss lightweight program with that single sculler performing earlier. And here we can see the lightweight men's double scull looking very strong at the moment, sitting just off the Italians. But I would expect them to start to come through as we progress through this race.
It's interesting, without the French here, without Delaire after his accident, might just open up the door slightly for the Italians to make their mark in this event, come away with a world champ gold.
I think that's a great shout, actually, because they've really got their act together. I think they rode, they sculled really well. I think that the job their coach has done in Piediluco, where they train there, has been fantastic, and they are one of the hot favourites as we ride with the Polish double. Again, they are making up, and you can see the bowman Artur Mikolajewski look round. Yeah, where are they? He doesn't need to look round, you know. The stroke man is just focused straight down there, looking down the boat, and Miloš Jankowski. But they are moving through, and I think they're going to be in 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken, by the time we get to the K.
Well, it's looking really tight. The Greeks and the Ukrainians were bow ball for bow ball as they passed the 500, and if anything, just started to nose ahead now. The Greeks trying to solidify that 3rd place position.
Yes, the Swiss combination coming out of their men's 4, which finished 5th at the Olympic Games last year, moving over to sculling from sweep rowing, but certainly doing a very strong performance here, moving up ever so slightly on the Italians. It's quite clear the 2 leading crews, but we've got a very tight battle on between these last 4 crews for the final position. It's so tough trying to get through in this category into the A final, and it's going to be a very hot race for that final qualification position.
Let's talk about the Swiss. I mean, they've got their caps back. They used to race like that in the Coxless 4. Of course, they got to the final of the Olympics and then really had the bad luck of a poor lane and no chance of making a medal in the final. Very crushed by that, but Simon Cox has split his crews up and he's put these 2 guys. The other 2 are actually in the pairs event, the lightweight pairs, which is a non-Olympic event. But
look at that now, though. The Greeks have absolutely solidified their place over the Ukrainians in 3rd place and moving up the field, trying to challenge for it. Mikolajewski and Jankowski of Poland within reach, under a length, to get themselves into contention for a place in the A final.
I was wrong, they weren't in 3rd at the K, but they're not far off it. But just to mention from Antonio Lapadula, the coach of the Italian lightweight program, Italian rowing, of course, been changed completely by Giuseppe Abignali, the new president. revolutionised the coaching structure, and I think we can see the impact of that on the water. Lamour is now the head coach as we ride with the Swiss, and yeah, the bowman Simon Schurig, tremendous athlete he is, looking across. I think he can sense they're moving on the Italians, and all of Simon Cox's Swiss crews, they do row beautifully and smooth. You know, he a lightweight world medalist himself, and spend minimal of effort up the slide.
They're very conscious. They're looking across at the competition, trying to...
It's the poles, isn't it? They're looking at the poles.
Looking at the poles, and I think he's also looking over his left shoulder, because they know that they're in touch with the Swiss there, and they could come up into second place. So a really valiant effort from the Greeks here, getting back into this race.
So Gianni Postiglione is going to have a smile on his face if the Greeks can stay ahead of the Poles. I think it's going to be a real charge in the last quarter, because remember, the Poles did go off quite slowly in the first 500.
And the 1500 metre mark, only 0.18 of a second separating these two leading crews now. What a last 500 this will be. Will the Italians do their signature drive up through the rate? Can they hold off these Swiss who are rowing very long, rowing very comfortably, and looking very relaxed with what they're doing at the moment? But it's the Swiss who are coming through. They're answering the call, and they're just taking this lead as they come into the final 500 metres. And it's very important for confidence, as we mentioned earlier, to try and take the win. But they are being pushed. You can see they're having to answer it, because these two crews who are in third and fourth currently are starting to drive through.
The Poles, they're coming. They've taken half a length. They've taken half a length off the Greeks, and oh, this is going to be a fantastic finish.
They might even come in second. They look to be having the boat speed that could overturn the Italians here as well. Only half a length in it,
sprint.
But they've done it. They've pushed the Greeks out of contention for an A final place.
And I mean, it's always the fear when you're up in front and it's a two-horse race, all of a sudden a sprint happens behind you, and you've got to see these things before they start to happen, because the Polish have made contact with the Italians, they've made contact almost with the Swiss, but coming back with the Greeks, this is absolutely incredible. Only a couple of feet difference between the Greeks and the Poles coming into the last 100. I don't know which way it'll go.
It's going to be a photo finish.
The Greeks have gone through.
They're totally bow ball for bow ball. The Greeks are just a nose ahead.
Oh, the Greeks did it. What
a way to fight back. What a way to fight back on that Polish challenge.
I thought they were dead, those Greeks.
I thought they were out. I mean, once you get rowed through like that, it's so tough psychologically to get back in the game. But they pulled it out of nowhere and managed to not only catch up with the Polish, but just pit them to the post. So a fantastic finishing burn there from the Greeks, and they're showing the pain of that effort.
Spiridon Giannis knows that he's got through.